Hello everyone, it's BellaDovah. Today we're going to be looking at the best mods that have released for The Sims 2 this past year. Some of you may have been watching my quarterly new mod series, so thank you if you have, but I do appreciate that they're long videos with what might be an overwhelming amount of mods. So today I've picked out my absolute favourites, so we'll be going through my top 40 and I'll also whiz through 25 honourable mentions at the end. I do recommend watching my quarterly mod series if you haven't already though, because there's definitely more amazing mods covered in those videos that unfortunately won't get a mention today, and we all have different preferences, so your favourites might look different to mine. If you're new or returning to The Sims 2 with the Legacy Collection re-release, welcome. Bear in mind though, I'm using the Ultimate Collection instead, so I've only tested the mods with that, but I'm pretty sure they'll all work for the new version as well, except for one that I have noted. I've separated today's mods into categories, so we'll kick things off with my favourite gameplay mods and then we'll look at some new functional objects before looking at some visual improvements. You'll be able to find the links to all of the mods in this video in a link in the video description and pinned comment, which will take you to a post on my website with all of the links to the download pages and a description of each mod too, including the honourable mentions. Apologies if I sound weird by the way, I am ill, but I've held off doing this video long enough, so let's get started. So the first mod is the camera overhaul mod, which makes it so a camera is actually required in a Sim's inventory for them to be able to take a picture. So now when you click on the self menu, the take a picture option won't be there unless they have a camera, or what's cool is it also supports Epi's smartphone as well. So if let's give Don I've just made him selectable by the way, it doesn't live here, but it should still work. If I give him a cell phone, now has a cell phone, and now the option to take a picture becomes available because he's going to use his smartphone to do that. So there we go, he's whipped out his smartphone instead, so he can now take a picture with that. But what's also cool is a load of other new cameras have been added, as well as the normal one that they would usually just have automatically. That's actually an object that you can buy. I think this is a default replacement for it. So this is just like the regular Barbells camera, but there's also some other types. There's some like big fancy ones. There's no like functional difference apart from these cool Polaroid types, in which you'll get a small picture straight away. So you just need to have a camera or a smartphone in the Sims inventory and then they'll be able to take a picture. So let's just cause chaos and get them all taking a picture at the same time. See what happens. It might not like that, to be honest. Oh yeah, it's like overridden all of them, so I don't actually know which ones work like doing it. Maybe they'll all take the same picture, possibly. Okay, so the all top one, apparently Mortimer's wasn't very good, but Cassandra, because she took it with a Polaroid, she has an instant photo in her inventory. So now you can put that on a wall. They are really tiny, but of course it would be. And there you go, you have a instant picture. The rest as normal as before. You'd go online and order your photos, but yeah, that just like connects the dots, a reason to, it's something you could sell in an own business, like have a little camera shop, a reason to stock up your inventory with a camera or a phone before you go on holiday and you can take pictures. You can ask locals to take a picture of you still if you don't have a camera, but yeah, that's just really cool, really immersive. Just circling back to this real quick, because I realised that making everyone take a picture at the same time actually kind of messed up the Polaroid one, because there were actually slightly different resolutions. So it would be portrait like this on a Polaroid, but because I had the boys take one with their cameras at the same time in their landscape, Cassandra actually ended up taking a landscape one. So if I now just have her take a one with the Polaroid without letting anyone override it and change the resolution, we'll get one that looks a little bit better, filling the whole width of the box like so. And you can also add a tint to it, which is cool, so you can make them look all vintage, so that's cool as well. So yeah, just bear that in mind. If someone's trying to take a picture with their Polaroid, or the other way around, someone's trying to take one with their camera, having multiple people take them with the different devices might make them take them in the wrong orientation. So yeah, just bear that one in mind. The next mod we're going to be looking at is Loads of Laundry 2.0 plus a add-on for it that was originally by Gummy, and then Medusa took it even further and added loads of compatibility and great stuff like that. So I'll be looking at all of that as a package. I'm classing it as, you know, one mod. It's actually like 2 different pages for this kind of system. Loads of Laundry could be, you know, a big mod, but it does seamlessly integrate, you know, into everyday sim life. So I'm going to show you just the basics of it. We now have a washing machine and a dryer on the lot. We also have this drying line. You don't either need a dryer or a line, you don't have to have both. And we have a few hampers. This mod won't do anything on a lot until you place something to do with the mod on the lot. So if you've placed a hamper or a washing machine, it'll kick in, otherwise you don't have to worry about it. But we've just got it up and running, but obviously there's no dirty laundry on the lot, so we can see that there's check hampers and say that there's nothing in it. So we're going to have to generate a little bit of laundry, and laundry happens when Sims change clothes and aren't, you know, full hygiene. So I'm going to knock their hygiene down and have them all, you know, change clothes. I'm actually going to I'll have Mortimer take a shower actually, but Cassandra and Alex can just change her clothes. And as you can see on her dresser now, because of the add-on, each dresser has a clean laundry count. So they start with having 10 clean clothes, so you're not like having, as soon as you're trying to start using the mod, to have no clean clothes at all. But this will actually deplete. So I'm going to have Cassandra and Alex change the clothes a few times. Mortimer has got into the shower, and as you can see, he's made a pile of dirty clothes on the floor because there's no hamper in this room. There is a hamper in Alex's room, but it has a little bit of support for the traits. It's not required to have the traits, but it will have a little bit supported for it if you do. And I gave Alex the slob trait, so that means even though there is a hamper in his room, he has sloppily left his clothes on the floor. But Cassandra's should have. Yeah, we can already see that we can actually get a pile of laundry from this, but let's we should have had the clean laundry count go down. Yeah, we have 9 now, so let's just, you know, make it a bunch more times each. Mortimer's nice and clean now, so him, if he were to get changed now, it shouldn't produce any laundry because he, you know, he's already clean. So yeah, there's nothing to get in this one. But if I just budge it back down and have him do it again, then some will. We don't leave everyone in there undies now, do we though? Okay, so let's have a look how many we've got left after changing a bunch of times. We now only have 4 fresh clothes in this dresser. What about in here? There's 6 in this one, and in Alex's there is 5. Okay, and now if we check dirty laundry level of these baskets, of course there shouldn't be anything in Alex's because they're all on the floor. So I guess he's gonna have to pick them all up. So you can just grab dirty washing from the floor. I do wish it was a little bit faster to check the hampers. Okay, so I'm not sure which is which, but one of them has, I think Cassandra's has 5 in it. Yeah, that makes sense, doesn't it? And Mortimer's has 3. So if I have Cassandra, she can get a certain amount of dirty piles. Or I could just have her getting them all. You can get them all out of here. And Mortimer, why don't you pick up this one? Alex is still busy picking up all his mess. Because I've got autonomy off at the moment, but because Cassandra is neat, and if she went in this room, she should actually autonomously pick up piles of dirty laundry. So that's cool. But I'll have Alex put all his piles in the hamper. and he can add his one pile. But Cassandra's been collecting it, so she already has 8 piles of laundry. And now she goes into Alex's room. Now he's put all his in there. She can get all piles of dirty laundry from here as well. And there we go. Oh, I accidentally added it to it. That's not what I meant to do. I meant to get all piles, not add all piles. There we go. She's got 13 now. So now we can do some washing, but it is important that you have detergent levels. So when you click on our washing machines, there will be detergent levels and there is none. So you need to have a bottle of laundry soap. There are like medieval or more rustic alternatives depending on your kind of game, but Cassandra now has a bottle, and then she can add a whole bottle of detergent to like stock up the washing machine, so you don't have to do it for each wash. But now there's enough detergent in there to wash 20 piles of washing. I'll split it into a few different, so if I just get it to wash 5 loads at the moment, she will put 5 in. But I think you can wash up to 20 at once. So then the washer tugs away for a bit. Oh, and the sound stopped. Oh, and then we can gather. It's started again, the sound. But it is done, so we can gather 5 wet piles. So we've got 5 wet piles of clothes. Well, 5 wet clothes. So we could use the dryer for that. So we can dry 5 loads of laundry. You don't need any, you know, dryer sheet or anything like this for this. So then that's working away, and it will dry. But we could now wash another 5, so that we could dry 5 on the dryer. But as you can see, they're indicated when they're like in use with this red light. So we'll just wait for one of them to finish. It's still red actually. Well, yeah, because there's still washing in it, so the light doesn't change once the run is finished. It's like that there's clothes in it. So I've just checked. You don't like know when it's finished, because the sound can carry on a little bit later, and there's no pop-up or anything. So you just have to check. And the sound would finish eventually, but it's probably ready to take out before the sound stops, I found. But we can now gather fresh outfits out of the dryer. So now she has 5 in her inventory. So now what she can do is she can go to her room and put away so she doesn't have to use them all for herself. She could give herself 2 and then Alex 2. But let's just give them all to her. Why not? She's done all the work. So she's going to put all those fresh clothes in her dresser. And now when we check it, it's back up to 9. We've replenished it. And she's got some more clean change of clothes, of course. So this means when the clothes actually run out, you've used your 10 piles. That means you won't be able to get changed with that dresser anymore. So you need to do your laundry, which I think is a fantastic incentive. I think the just loads of laundry by itself was missing a little bit of incentive. I did use the optional file that gave it a like a comfort and hygiene buff, like wouldn't decay so fast if you actually got changed using a pile of laundry, but then you had to like leave the laundry pile out. So now there's a reason to put it away and use that dresser to get changed, and I love that. It just all makes sense. But this wet pile is also finished, so let's go grab that. And we've got a wet pile here as well, and now if we check the detergent levels, it's 10 because she's washed 2 lots of 5 loads, so the detergent's gone down by half. So let's now hang this wet pile on the washing line instead. Find where you click it. There we go. We can dry all 5 lots of wet laundry on the line instead. And there we go. It's just sheets. I think this is quite a medieval tailored line. There are some more modern alternatives. There is a very handy collection folder that I forgot to put in, so I'm making this way more difficult for myself. Like this one, this is a little bit more modern. And what's also cool, which I cannot find right now, is there's actually a little controller object you can use to change the colour of the wet clothing piles to, again, like suit your family's style or the game. So the dirty clothes will be a different colour based on what you select. So that's cool as well. There's loads of things to download, but you don't have to download them all. I've got them all in, as you can see. I've not installed all of the more rustic options perfectly, so I've got some blue. So you just have to carefully follow the instructions and think about what you want in your game, because there's loads of options. But really, as long as you've got a hamper and a washing machine and either a line or a dryer, then you are good to go and can just integrate laundry into your everyday simming life. The next mod is gardening and cleaning duties, and that adds a new interaction to the Sims self menu called duty, and you can tell them to tidy up or be the gardener. So if I tell Cassandra to tidy up, she'll now go around the house and just clean anything that needs cleaning. You know, you don't have to look around yourself or direct each thing individually. I've made this bathtub dirty, this toilet's dirty. So we should go to that next. And I also made the cooker downstairs dirty, so I'll see if she makes it for that. So it's a little bit like the Macrostatics mod. Macrotastics is it actually? I've never used that myself because I think it has some issues with conflicts. And it's like a little bit complicated, but this I think has a bit better calculations and better conflict management. So yeah, and she washes her hands when she's done. That's fantastic. So yeah, that's just an easy way to get the cleaning done. There's also one for gardening. Let's see if there's any gardening to be done. There might not, to be honest. Oh yeah, he's gonna want some flowers. So again, you don't have to spot everything that needs doing. That was it. Apparently just 2 flowers needed watering and everything else is fine. So you just took care of that in one interaction. There is another cool feature worth mentioning on this mod, and that is when you call to hire a gardener, you can now choose how often you want them to come, including every day, which I think is great. You can have more choices. You can just have them once. So yeah, that's brilliant as well. Or of course, it's like the default of every 3 days, and so it's up to you the schedule you want the gardener on. I think there's a lot of other little things this mod does as well, so just read the description, but I just love that handy duty menu and the choices for the gardener hiring, so yeah, check it out. I've now sent Mortimer to a community lot that I downloaded by Joe, specifically for this next mod, which is autonomous crafting for all Team Plus Sims. So this is like a hobby lot, and as you can see, Dina is getting on with making a toy. I'm not directed her to do that. It's gonna, and then what's her name, Alan Thomason is doing the same. So they will autonomously craft stuff. The supplies will come out of their own pocket, I believe. Joe Carl's joining in now as well. I think anything they make is going to be added to their own inventory, so it's got nothing to do with the active household, and it just makes lots like this more alive. So let me actually try and make him selectable. Yeah, he's got the bouquet. He's just made it in his inventory, so if this was a playable sim, you'd be able to find what they've made on these community lots in their inventory. And it just actually makes, you know, whole hustle and bustle, because previously nobody would use these autonomously, and now they can. So yeah, that just applies to all stations. That just makes, you know, the visiting sims interact with the lot the way you probably intended them to. We're back home now, and I've turned autonomy back on, because the same mod also comes with this item that when you place on a residential lot, people will use the items autonomously as well, which I love. I think it's good, you know, if they're engaging with the hobby by themselves. That's a lot of fun. So this item acts as like a toggler, and if you place this item on a community lot, it will actually turn autonomy off, but if you place it on a residential lot, it will turn autonomy on. But I just love to see sims engaging with the hobbies by themselves. I also love the extended Tell a Story interaction by Crispin Kerosene. So now when I click on the Tell a Story interaction, there are now new options. So I'm pretty sure science fiction is new. So now there is a topic for each hobby. So whatever your hobby is, you can tell a story that will gain it, and they come with these cute custom icons. And each new one also supports one of the what do you call them, apartment life, social ones. I think this one, Celebrity, is actually a rename of one that existed, which was Economics, and that's so it makes sense, so that can gain the film and literary enthusiasm. But Apartment can now tell a camping story, which is another new one, and that would gain him, well, both of the nature enthusiasm. So there's something for everyone now, and I really love that. I didn't really use those tell a story interactions very often, but I definitely would. We now have a little bundle of mods that were released around the same time to do with the Cowplant, and one of those is a buyable male Cowplant. So because this one can't be milked, it's much safer, so you have like a harmless option, just someone to interact with. But of course there's also the original Cowplant, so if I unlock career rewards for Mortimer, we can now grab the original Cowplant as well. There's two alternatives. But there's another mod that makes them have more interactions. So now you can actually name a Cowplant, and it will bring up the menu you get when you buy like a parrot or something. So you can actually choose a colour, including some of these new ones, which will make it look like they're growing from the ground by having an invisible pot. So we can call her Daisy. And then the pot's invisible, but now there is a new little item that you can just use to plug that hole with move objects on. So if I just pop that there, now it looks like that she's growing from the ground. And we can talk to her to gain a sim social, and we can also tease her, which will make their hunger go down faster. I'm gonna make Mortimer name the male one, so he can be called Bruce. And we can also talk to Bruce, even though he's a custom male one. All the same interactions apply. But yeah, because Cassandra's been teasing Daisy, that should make her get hungry faster and want to bait a sim to stick out. Okay, you can also feed them to prevent that hunger alternatively, so that should make her want to kill a sim less. So yeah, that's just adds more interactions to the Cowplants, more options there, and you can still have a weird and wonderful male one without the danger. And there's also a set of patches and things to go with these as well by someone else. So you'll find all of that on the website section for this as well. I've now had the Goth adopt a cat to look at our next mod. We'll be looking at some other cat related mods later. But for now I'm having him keep interacting with this catnip toy until it is destroyed. So now it is destroyed, and usually you'd know you have to get your sim to clean this up and then go into the catalogue and buy a new one. But I had the idea, wouldn't it be cool if a sim could just replace it themselves without you needing to go buy it from the catalogue? So that was on my wish list of mods that's on my website, and Medusa kindly made my wish come true and made this mod for a replace catnip interaction. So as you can see, she picked the old one up, put a new one down, purchased it, came out with the funds, and now she's going to dispose of the old one. So that just makes that one smooth interaction without having you to stop and bind it in the catalogue, place it down, buy a new one, and your sims can handle it all themselves. which I just love. So great idea by me, if I do say so myself. I have loads more ideas if anyone is interested, but thank you so much, Medusa, for making that happen. We're now here to torment Don for a little bit in his house. We'll come back to the goths later. But I want to show you another mod that was my idea but made by Medusa. Technically this isn't a new mod, but a big significant update to their even more computer options, and that is to add this stream game interaction to a computer. So because Don can only play SSX3, it's the only game he has, he can also stream SSX3, and he will then play the game but also gain charisma as he's doing this, and some money, a little bit of money every now and again. There we go, he's just got $6. I'm actually going to open the package from Mr. Humble, because now we'll have 2 games to choose from, to play or to stream from. And I'm also going to show you that the earnings can be influenced by a few things, such as his charisma skill, and I believe some traits as well. So if I make him, let's say, charismatic, a computer whiz, and star quality, I'm not sure exactly which traits help it along, so I will give them all of these. He's now top charisma, so now if I make him stream, he's got 2 games now, so now there's 2 games to choose from. So let's have stream The Sims 3 with his new skills and traits. Not gaining charisma anymore, obviously, because he maxed it. And there we go, he got 10 simoleons now. So obviously it's not a massive difference. It will never be a huge earning, huge income, but it is a fun little side hustle your Sims can do. My idea initially was that streaming would gain less fun but more social than playing games normally. But whether that's actually been implemented, I'm not actually sure. Next is another one of my ideas, but this time actually made by myself. I'm biased, I'm obviously going to think my ideas are good ones, right? I'm pleased with these mods, let me know if you agree. I made a little set of mods to do with the drafting table, so I've gone and got Don one, and now we can see that these interactions say draw instead of draft, because I just thought that made more sense, just a simple text change. That's one optional mod out of this little pack. Another one is to make the draw blueprints only gain tinkering enthusiasm instead of arts and crafts, or there's an alternative to that that would make all of the interactions gain tinkering enthusiasm instead. But I've got the version that's just blueprints because, you know, they're more technical. So it was Kaylee83 idea actually, that they thought, you know, it'd be cool if this was a way to gain tinkering enthusiasm, and I thought so too. There's plenty to choose from arts and crafts, but tinkering could be a bit more difficult. There's also another optional mod you can add to one of the flavors of the hobby ones, or have separately, up to you, that will actually make the blueprints interaction only gain mechanical skill instead of creativity as well. So I've got both of those in. So Don should right now be gaining mechanical skill and tinkering enthusiasm. So we've just got a pop-up to say he's gained enthusiasm in tinkering, so we can have evidence of that. I wonder if he'll manage to gain a full mechanical skill. He's finished it and not quite. So let's just go again. There we go. He gained a mechanical skill from that. So his mechanical skill did go up, and so did his tinkering enthusiasm, but his arts and crafts did not. But I could now scrap this draft. It is a draft because he didn't finish it. And now if I make him draw something custom, this should, there we go, gaining creativity still and arts and crafts enthusiasm. So it's just up to you what you choose, whether you want the option to just apply to blueprints or all of the drafting table interactions. So yeah, now he gained some arts and crafts from doing that drawing. That is it for my ideas now. Now we're looking at a new plus significantly updated mod by Lamare, which one's right, I'm not sure. So I have gone and pushed Don's double bed up to the wall and added some decorative, blanket and cushions. But now with their new use an accessible bed mod, Don can actually go and lay on this side of the bed. There we go, he leapt into it. This new mod is also included in a significant update to their unmade bed mod. Now this update also comes with a control object, which is this, and now you can set options for the bed deco. So it will detect things that are on or around the bed, so you can set the behavior. So if I click on these cushions now, we want to make this bed decor. You kind of make it okay to relax on. So let's make the cushions bed decor, and let's make the blanket bed decor, but okay to relax on. And then we can cancel out that. We can get rid of that. I'm going to budge this up actually so he doesn't go from the top, he goes from the side. So now if I make him relax over at this side, I'm going to jump on, and you can see that those cushions disappeared, but the blanket did not. And then he gets up and it makes itself again. But now let's make him go and sleep over there. So he's going to jump to the other side again. But this time, both of those decorative items disappeared because that's how I set them to. So, yeah, using Accessible Bed is a new mod on its own. But the Unmade Bed mod has been hugely updated and improved with that control object, and also optionally includes use an accessible bed in it. So if you want the Unmade Bed mod, you just grab that version, including use accessible bed only. So yeah, brilliant. I'm now teleported Dean around for our next mod, and I have ACR installed and set up, because we're going to be looking at the mod Unselectable ACR Pregnancies. So I have changed the risk yards to be 100%. Obviously not very realistic, but I want to show you that it definitely works. So Nina is round and she's not selectable, but if I have Don do a casual woohoo with her, and then we got the pregnancy jingle. So Nina is pregnant, even though she's not selectable. She's not part of this household. So if I saved this and then went to go to the Caliente household, Nina would be pregnant and the pregnancy would progress. If you got a townie pregnant like this, the pregnancy would progress if you moved them in. But yeah, now Sims can get pregnant even if they're not selectable or in the active household or anything like that. So yeah, that could really spice up the gameplay. This is separate to the pregnancy while visiting mod that I think is actually required for this, which would apply to the normal Maxis try for a baby. You can try for a baby with, inactive Sims and they can become pregnant. But yeah, this one is for ACR. I've now made it later in the day to look at our next mod, which is Adults Go Out. So now in an evening, adults can use the phone to go out just like teenagers can. So if you just want to be rid of them for a while, you can have adults go out just like the teenage interaction as well. So Dina will come around and he'll get in the car with her and they'll just go for a bit. They'll just be, I think it's about 4 hours. The social and the fun will increase, the relationship will increase, but they're off a lot. You don't have to deal with them. And there we go, he's back and Dina will drive off. So that is a great passive way to gain some fun and social and relationship when you don't know what else to do with your Sims and you want to get them out of your hair for a bit. I've now sent Don to Tweaky Island to have a look at our next mod, which are shark and dolphin spawners. So as we can see in the scene now, there is a shark swimming around. So I'll have Don get in the ocean with the shark. So what this mod does, it adds 2 signs, one for sharks and one for dolphins. They both have each recolor plus an invisible version if you want. So placing these signs can make the sharks or dolphins spawn. So right now we've got a shark and Don's going to get in the sea with the shark. And what should happen is that Don's comfort should drop, just swimming near the shark. You know, he might be a little bit nervous to be around a shark. It might be a little bit scary and unsettling, so yeah, it's going now. Sharks just make the nearby swimming sims comfort drop. They don't actually cause them any harm. He's feeling better apparently. So all you can do with sharks is just drive them away, and that will just make them disappear. So there we go, shoot the shark off. So all we can do now is wait and hope for a dolphin. We've had another shark spawn before a dolphin. Let's get rid of that and keep waiting. And here we go, there's a dolphin here now. This one's a blue one, they can be in grey. There's some other patterns for the sharks as well. So there we go, we've got a dolphin swimming around. And I think that makes, yeah, Don's fun and social increase swimming around a dolphin. But you can actually pet the dolphins, which is just so cute. It didn't line up quite perfectly to do that. I'm trying again, and it's a little bit closer, but yeah, that's where his face is supposed to be. So it's a little bit tricky to get the right angle, I think. Well, like going for his belly now. The dolphin's swimming around. How cute is that? It's quite hard to get the petting animation to line up quite right. The dolphin seems to move a lot every time you try and cue it up, so it's never in the place you expect it to be. But nonetheless, it's just so cute and I love it. It just adds a lot of life being able to see these creatures swimming around in the ocean. Let's look at some mods with the Brokes now, and this is going to be our last like gameplay oriented mod, and this one's actually a little bit of a sneak preview to what I'd actually be covering in my next quarterly episode, because this is like a new version of the mod we looked at last time. It was like only just released, like, I don't know, this morning. And it's already like the end of January, and the rest of these mods were fully released in 2024. But Babies Need Diapers is a mod we looked at last time, and it has just come out with its version 2. So now I'm gonna have Bo use his nappy, and now when I click on him and try to change his diaper, we're gonna have a message that says Brandy doesn't have any diapers. So now you actually need to have to buy diapers to be able to change nappies. So now in this children's section, part of V2 is actually 2 different pack sizes. You can get just 5, a little box like this, and they are so cute now. Before they were like, you know, English real ones, but now they're this cute Simlish design. Or you can get a big bump pack of 20. Brandy's broke, obviously. It is way better value to get 20 though. Actually, it would be just half the price for 5 rather than 27. But anyway, Brandy's broke, so she can only afford 5 right now, let's say. Now there are diapers on the lot, so now when we change Bo, she's actually going to walk up to the box as if she's getting a diaper to be able to change him on the spot like this. But what's the better use of this mod is if you have a changing table, you can actually use the box to stock the changing table. So I'm going to have Belle go again, and if she uses the changing table now, because I've not stocked it, she will walk it up to it. Oh, she'll actually take the whole box, okay. And stock it first, and then change his diaper. So now if we check stock levels, there are 4 diapers in this changing table. But I could say if I got the bumper pack now, she's splurging out. We can just preemptively use the box to stock it into the table. So you don't have to, you know, worry about that when you need it. And now there's 24 diapers. And now if he went again, now if we change his diaper, oh, no, she still did teleport over there. I don't know why. That was a bit weird. But yeah, she shouldn't need to go up to the box anyway. anymore, and just be able to use them straight from the chain table that's now stocked. So that is a fun item that you can buy from the catalogue or sell in your own businesses like supermarkets and pharmacies, and it just, you know, connects everything together and makes that immersion and a little bit of challenge. Let's look at some functional objects now, you know, new items that serve a new purpose that we didn't ordinarily have with Maxis items. And this first one is this Nutri-Baby food appliance. So you can use this to make toddler meals. So let's make him some mashed carrots and breaded tofu. So she'll go up to this small appliance, pay 15 simoleons, wait for it to finish, and then 2 toddler meals will be in her inventory, which you can then place on the floor, and then toddlers can eat from it. And this is just, I love this because I tend to always just keep bottle feeding toddlers and never put them in the high chair, because it is just such a painful, infuriating experience to try and feed toddlers in a high chair, and I just never do it. So this is a great way to actually get some real food down them. So there we go, his hunger got a big boost, the plate will empty, and then they're like paper plates, I guess, so Brandon will bin them. There's also other recipes like peas and pizza. Again, there's just 15 small each, and you get 2 servings for each one, and each one has a different coloured plate. So you just actually have some nutritional objects for toddlers that they will just eat really cutely, and it'd be so much easier to feed them than putting them in a high chair. So I love that. We also have a set of 3 new Toddler Toys by Jackie93 Sims, and that is this tunnel, this makeup kit, and a phone. I'm not going to look at the phone because this is basically CC, because it doesn't really do anything new. It's just a toddler toy that builds charisma, and we already kind of have that. But what's cool about this is, well, we don't have anything that works like this for one thing, and it will also gain the body scale, and I don't really know of any ways that toddlers gain body skill normally, so this is a great way to add this. I'd love to add fitness enthusiasm for this item for your fitness hobby toddlers. So yeah, I love that because that's not an option we had before. And same with this makeup kit, they can play it to gain creativity, which again, that's just CC really, another item to gain creativity. But what's cool about it is toddlers can use it to change their own appearance. It's a little mirror, so you don't have to have the parent go and carry them to a mirror. They can actually just do this themselves, which I think is very cute. So yeah, I love those. I've now replaced Dustin's pinball machine with this new skip-ball hoops machine. What's it called? A buzzer beat throw machine. So Angela beat him to it, but oh, you can actually join? Okay, she's bored anyway. Yeah, Sims can use this to throw basketballs in a hoop and gain fun. I think it would be cool if this very slowly, admittedly, gained the body skill and the sports enthusiasm. So I guess I like this for its potential, because I'd very much like to at least add sports enthusiasm for it. But I just think it looks great. It uses the darts throwing animations. There's quite a few other functional objects like this that Jackie93 has made. Loads are really good. I can't cover them all in this, but some will be in the honourable mentions, so make sure you stick around for those. I now want to look at these sofa bed and sofa chair. So these are new objects that behave like both a sofa and a chair, like a pull-out sofa. So let's replace their living chair with this one. As you can see, you can fully see the bed in bar mode. That's just so you know what, you can recolor it straight away. You don't actually have to get someone to go and pull it out. So now it's just like an armchair in live mode. You can just sit on it like a normal chair, or you can unfold it And you can disable the autonomy of sleeping, so people won't just automatically get it out and sleep on it if you don't want them to.
Oh, come on.
See, it does everything a normal chair would do. Where's she keep going to where that box was? It's kind of freaking me out. Anyway, you can now unfold it into a bed. She'll get her remote out and it'll unfold. So now, wow, what in the... Why is my game being so glitchy today? This is so weird. Say if we had, you know, Angela sleeping round, she can sleep here. So yeah, you can have a guest stay over without, you know, having to have a permanent place for them, which is just fantastic. You can actually just fold it back up without making it, and it will be made, which is a little bit, you know, hacky, but you can. And yeah, like I said, you can just disable that autonomy so no one will sleep on it if you don't want them to. And that is just a great space-saving way. Your Sims can still have guests round. A flying visit to the Pleasance now to take a look at a couple more functional objects. And firstly is this barbell stand. So Daniel can work out with barbells or dumbbells. Let's have him do some barbells, and now he will exercise with those. Oh, he's got max body skill, so he's not going to gain any body skill, but otherwise he would. I guess I'll have to start it again now. I've just lowered that before I'll gain it. But yeah, I think the animations are pretty good, and it just, for me, this is like new essential gym equipment. I think it is just a really great varied way for your Sims to gain body skill, and I think it should gain fitness enthusiasm as well. Yeah, he's gained fitness enthusiasm doing this, so let's have a look at the dumbbells. Yeah, now he's going to gain body skill now. I've just cheated it to nudge it down to 8. So again, just fantastic animations, great variety. We also have these new hobby boards, and what's cool about these is they're not just decorative, you can actually change which hobby is gained when a Sim looks at them. So you might know, as usual, when you look at some artwork, you always gain the arts hobby, but you can set it to gain any hobby when your Sim looks at it. So this is a music design, so we'll set it to gain music and dance. And this one that Angela's got is like nature. To be honest, I feel like it could be science as well, but let's say it's nature. When they look at these boards, there we go. That's Angela's one true hobby. So it's gaining that. And then you'll see above the heads in a moment when they're done that there we go, and that's the music icon. And Angela should get the little nature icon in a second. There we go. So you can, you know, set it to suit anybody and have a way, like a quick fun boost, a way to just quickly interact with your hobby, which is great. Another cool thing is when you redesign them. So well, this hobby is actually a sports. So let's find a sports looking one. Some, I feel like these designs could be really like open-ended really, but what could be sporty? It's like skate. None of them really look that sporty to me, to be honest. Let's say it's this one though. And then when you change the colour, you'll get a pop-up saying you changed the design of the board. Do you need to change the associated hobby? Yes, we do. We can set hobby now to build sports. So when she looks at it now, oh, that's what Angela looked. There we go. She's gaining sports now. So how cool is that? That's just a great way for people to interact with the hobby. I've now also got the Pleasance a dog to look at this other item, which is the bath time buddy Pooch tub, and it's like this little water fountain that dogs can actually use autonomously. I'm not going to try and wait for him to use it autonomously. We can direct him to take a bath. You can see his hygiene's low, and he will just splash around, roll around, gaining his own hygiene. It won't necessarily be all the way, but it's definitely a helpful boost, so you don't have to necessarily bath them so often, because I find that so annoying about dogs in this game. They need bathing all the time. So that is a great way that the dogs can be in control of that a little bit themselves, because they can choose to, or if you have the cheats on like I do, you can direct them to, so they can keep themselves a bit clean with that, which I love. We're now back with the Goths to look at a few functional objects with them before moving on to some graphical visual improvement mods. And the first one is this engagement and wedding ring updater. So one use for this is colour trace support. So if I give Cassandra a favourite colour and add that into her inventory, we can now update her wedding or engagement ring with colour traits. And let's have a call someone so I can see it. Let's just call Darren to talk to him. Oh, that's the opposite hand. Okay, great. You can kind of see it, that it's black. Maybe if it's against a black dress, so maybe if I give it the red colour instead, get rid of the black, and then update it again, you can see, oh, there we go, thank you, Cassandra. You can see that it's changed to red.
Framkin.
There we go, that's perfect, thank you, Cassandra, hold that there. So let me show you the black again. There we go, it's black now. You can also make it so it gets rid of the colour by choosing the no colour trait. And you can also use the updated, have you ever seen like a ring glitch out a little bit? It looks like it's like falling off a finger and other like glitchy behaviour like that. This should also fix that as well, so that's another use for it. And it also has a new design for the wedding ring with some small gemstones you can make your Sim's favourite colour as well. So yeah, I think that is fantastic. And we also have the candle crafting station that allows CB to make their own candles with different options depending on their creativity skill. So there was just one option with Cassandra's low creativity skill, but they will use it to craft a candle that will then go in their inventory. That will act as a light source if your Sims light them, but they will actually deplete over time and need disposing, but you can just put them out so they will stop going down. But let's leave that burning while we cheat some creativity skill and make a new one. And there's all these options. The molded ones are unlock at level 2, the carved one at level 4, and this sacred one at level 6. So let's make this best one, and that's like a block of candles, and this one does have a little special ability that will boost the comfort of nearby Sims every now and again. So this was largely converted from The Sims 4, but this sacred candle was a little bonus converted from the paranormal stuff. So I think FP Sims and TVK have done an excellent job on this, and I'm just giving us a really cool thing to be able to do, so we can light these as well. And as you can see already, this one's getting shorter. Well, I'll just fast forward so you can see what happens. They're really low now. This one's about to extinguish. There we go. So that one has run out, and you then need to dispose of it. But you can see Cassandra's comfort's getting boosted thanks to these sacred ones that are still going for a little bit more, but it doesn't look like they have long left either. And for our last new object, we have this Nature's Kitty Litter. So do you ever find that you struggle to find a good place indoors for a little box, or you see the cat is more outdoorsy? Well, now you can get this Nature's Kitty Litter, which is basically a litter box, but it's invisible, so you can place it outside. It's just these little 2 rocks, so you can place it anywhere. You can place it in some shrubbery and it will go to the toilet there. What's cool about this is there is an infinite version that will never need cleaning, like it just goes in the ground. You Sims don't need to interact with it at all. The cats can just take care of themselves the way nature intended. Not that my cat would ever be alright with going outside, some cats prefer it that way. I've actually just had to go and buy the got a new cat to take a look at our next mod, and we're moving on to visual improvements now, and that is cat whiskers. So I bought this new cat and she has whiskers, and just how cute and adorable and realistic is that? I had hoped to show you on Sweets, but I forgot because he's like pre-made. He unfortunately doesn't get them. If I wanted to give him whiskers, I'd have to tinker around in SimPE. I'm pretty sure on the mod page there's instructions on how to do that to add them to your existing cats. But because I went and like made this cat with one of those, you know, buy a pet boxes things, yet this one has whiskers and it just makes them look so much more realistic, so much cuter. I just absolutely love that, and it optionally applies to all of the like pre-selected breeds. So I'll go into Cass and show you that now. I'm cruelly not going to show you how cute it looks on kittens because the best thing about this is that their whiskers are genetic. So when cats with whiskers have kittens, the kittens will have visible whiskers as well, and it just looks so cute. But if you want to see that, go and check out the quarterly video where I covered it. I can't remember which one it is. 3, I think, but you'll see this cat on the thumbnail. So yeah, they will apply to kittens as well. But let me just hop into Cass real quick. So now when I go to make a cat in Create a Sim, optionally they will all already come with whiskers. All of the default breeds will have whiskers on them. And this version's actually a new version which I requested, in that now the whiskers will always be white. The other version is based on the cat's base coat colour, which you know, meant that some of them might have like orange or blonde whiskers, but actually knowing cats in real life, their whiskers are pretty much always white. The only exception is black cats. I think black cats do have black whiskers in real life, so that's a bit of a shame, but I still think they do look great with white whiskers, and I think they all look better with white whiskers. I think like specifically this one's got an orange base coat, so this one with orange whiskers looked really strange. So yeah, now regardless of the base coat, the whiskers will always be white with this new version. So thank you so much to the creator for making that version based on my feedback. And whichever version you choose, your cats are gonna look so much cuter. So the whiskers are a fur accessory that can be applied or removed in the fur accessories tab, so you can take them off. But I've actually just found, even though I'm using the version with the default that's always white, there is also the option to apply the ones that do match the base coat, so that's great. You can have the best of both there. They can be usually white, but like a fully black cat, you can give them black whiskers, which is great, and you can just layer them with the other fur accessories, which is fantastic. So yeah, that's brilliant. But see, like this brown cat, I thought looked a bit strange with orange whiskers, which is the other default, so that's why I do think it's better to have them white most of the time. But yeah, it's great to have the option, you know, whether you want to change the colour or remove them, that's where you can find them. But if you do replace your cat breeds, including this creator cat, you should never actually have to manually apply them in Create a Sim. They should always be there by default, so that's really handy. While I'm in Cass, actually, I might as well start to show you the next 2 actually little mods, but I've just rolled them into the same spot because they just work so well together. I was going to go back to show you in the goths, but I might as well start showing you here. And that is, one is a smooth mesh for these round glasses that Cassandra and Alex wear, and the other one is clear lenses for these, you know, see-through glasses. They actually look nice and clear now rather than like a boggy bluey tint they had going on before. So that looks way better. So let's go back to the goths now. I'll show you how much better Cassandra and Alex look with this new mesh and texture, and have a look at some more mods with those. One thing to note though with the mesh, it doesn't automatically apply to Sims already wearing these round glasses like Cassandra and Alex, so they're still all jaggedy here. But if I just use a Gussie Up mod to change their appearance and reapply these same glasses, they will update nicely. So we just change them and then put them back and accept. There we go, they're nice and smooth and round now, looking way better than before. I also wanted to show you these simple white texture defaults for the plate and bowls. This is actually very similar to a existing one by Wysim which I had before, but this sort of is just more efficient, and the best thing about this is it can be used with mesh default replacement. So as is shown here, I'm also using P4 smooth mesh. That's not new, but the great thing is they can be layered together, so you can have really high quality modern looking bowls with really smooth round meshes and nice crisp white textures. The Maxis plates are just hideous. They just make the game look really dated, and that weird painted on smudge they have when the bowls are empty, it just makes everything look so much worse. So as you can see, they just always look so much cleaner. And that's what a bowl is looking like empty. And that's what a plate looks like empty as well. So yeah, they just look so much better and take the dinnerware up to another level. Our next graphical mod is these leaf pile defaults and a mod for them as well. So it might be hard to tell, but this ball pattern is actually slightly different between these two. And you can also notice that the colours are brighter and more vibrant, just better looking than they were before. It's more rounded and more natural than that square it used to be. And it actually fixes a problem that it used to just be the same one texture, when there was actually always supposed to be 4 different ones. So this mod replaces all 4 of them and fixes them so you'll actually see all 4. So we just line a few up next to each other, like these two. Grab this one from over here, and there's another one here. Then we can see that there's some variety in the way these leaves look. They're not all the exact same, it's just a subtle difference, so it varies it up a little bit and they just look so much nicer, just more autumnal and joyful. And it even comes with a default replacement for the rake as well, which is cool. I don't think there's anything too drastically different about that, but I just love the way these leaves look now. So much more colourful. Just really make autumn feeling look so much better. Next we have a book texture replacement and a variety for the book covers, and that is what we need is more books, and that makes 3 possible textures occur for each genre of book, so they're all reading a mystery book. I've had to raise Alex up on an arm speed because I just couldn't see what the front was otherwise. So we can see Alex is reading a mystery book with that cover, and then the ones that Matt and Cassandra are reading look a bit different, and then there's 2 copies, so this one's the one Alex has got and this one's what Cassandra's got. Appreciate you have to take my word for it that they are all mystery books, I suppose. So if I have them all, let's pick a different genre maybe. Get them all to put it down. And then let's have them read maybe a cooking book instead. So there we go, let's put it down now so I can see all 3 varieties of the mystery books. So it looks like Cassandra and Alex did grab the same, but we can see that the inside's unique, but they're the same kind. So let's but Mortimer did grab a different one to Cassandra and Alex, but let's see if we can get Alex to grab the other kind. And I think that one's actually the same one as, I'm just going to make them all sloppy so they stop putting them away so we can see them. That one's the same one Mortimer's got, so let's try again. Oh, Sandra's given up. Didn't tell you to. Let's grab the other one out, let's see if we can find the variety. Is this the other one? Yeah, so now we can see all 3. So this is one of them, this is another one, and this one that both Mortimer and Alex are reading. is the other kind. So yeah, that just adds a great variety to your books. They're all much nicer textures, but now it actually looks like, you know, the different books that your Sims might be picking up. So it just combines 3 different texture replacements, 2 by Epi, 1 by iSimChain, and one of the sets by Epi is also new this year. So if you do just still want one replacer, then Epi's new ones are worth checking out. I think I still personally prefer Epi's original set, which this one is from, and I think this one. But oh, was it this one? I think it was this one. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, they're all nice, so it's really cool to see that variety, and that's not something we've had before. Next, we're having Kendra and Don at least attempt to get married, because now we have less post effects in cutscenes. So as you can see, there's no letterbox effect, the film grain is less and more subtle. So I'm taking a few screenshots now. So if I take a look at them, you should be able to see that they're more closer to how the game looks in gameplay, so you can take better screenshots in these cutscenes, which I really like. So here are the screenshots. They are still a bit grainy, but I think it's less severe. And obviously there's not those letterbox effects. So yeah, I think personally that makes the cutscenes look better. We're back with the bros to look at some more visual improvements, and these next few are tied to the colour traits. So dare I say there's an element of gameplay as well there. So I've given Brandy the favourite colour of pink, Dustin likes red, and Bo likes blue. And the first set is some colour trait accessories. So I'm going to get Brandy to water the flowers. I've actually just had to take the gardening and cleaning duties mod out, because it looks like that mod prevents them from being able to water flowers if it would cause them to be overwatered. They don't actually need watering, which is actually good, but obviously I wanted to be able to show you what this watering can looks like now, because Brandy has the favourite colour of pink. So now every time she pulls out a watering can, it will be in her favourite colour of pink. And if I get Dustin to overwater these ones, it'll be red, because that is his favourite colour. There are 2 options of that. You can also get like a new mesh that's, you know, like a round metal one, but I still personally prefer the plastic one. I'm also going to get Dustin to jump some rope, and as you can see, Brandy can join him actually. Let's get rid of the rain. Always rains. Every time I try and record, it rains. It's summer. Yeah, it rains. So there we go. Dustin's skipping rope is red and Brandy's is pink. So that makes the jumping ropes depend on their favourite colour as well. And we can also, if I have Brandy initiate playing kicky bag with Dustin, the kicky bag is pink because Brandy initiated the playing kicky bag. So if I stop them and then have Dustin initiate it instead, it's red. I think it's usually red. But yeah, whatever their favourite colour is, if they have one, then these objects will be that colour, which I think is great. Adds some variety and makes the objects look really nice. I've got Bo in his high chair, and now we're going to give him some food. And as you can see, the bowl is blue because that is Bo's favourite colour. So this is Toddler Bowls by Colour Trait. So whatever the toddler's favourite colour is what the bowl that they get served food in will be. And then they have these really cute little designs on the bottom. They're just so adorable, and they're really nice and round as well. So they look much better than the original Toddler Bowls. Now I'm going to choose to give Dustin and Brandy MP3 players. So they have a MP3 player in their inventory. It looks like it's black, right? But if we get them to listen to their MP3 player, when they pull it out, it will change to be their favourite colour. So Brandy's is pink and Dustin's is red. And you can see that this screen I'll hold still for a minute. It swaps what's shown on the screen as if different songs are playing, and you can even recolor this as if it's like different genres swapping around. So that'll be a different sequence of artwork showing. So you could imagine that different ones are different genres, and they give the Sims a screen recolor based on their music preferences that you imagine for them. So I think that looks really good. Moving away from colour traits now, we have filled snack bags. So as you can see, you can actually see crisps in this bag that are going down as she eats them, and same with Dustin's cookies. They've just gone down halfway as he's eating them. So yeah, now it changes the mesh of these snack bags. They're also compatible with recolors for them, which is great. And yeah, you can actually see what they're eating inside the bag. It's not just empty. Fantastic. I've just cheated to give these poor guys Sunburn because of the new default replacement for it, which looks really good. It looks so much more natural. It's so much less blocky. It's not as like neon and bright, and it even includes a fix for teenagers. So I believe Sunburns were actually broken for teenagers, so they'd never actually get the overlay, but now they do. And they even have tan lines, as you can see. Yeah, I just think that looks so much better, and it can be on your Sims, and I think a big part of the game looking good is Sims looking good. So it's really nice to have this improved overlay. Now I'm on a community lot in build mode to have a look at the wall speaker overhaul. So in the catalogue, gone are the very brightly coloured wall speakers, which indicate the different genre they play. Now they're a lot more subtle. They're all basically the same black one, but the genre is still indicated by this coloured band around them, so there is still a visual difference. So they look really good. It looks a lot more modern. The vibe of the place, your building doesn't have to be so as affected by these wall speakers that might not be in the colour you were really going for. Some have some really nice wood recolors as well. I'm not sure why not all of them do though. Only some of them have the recolors, and this one, he's always blue in my catalogue no matter what I do, but in the world it's absolutely fine, so I'm not sure what that's about. And the best thing as well is that there is 2 new ones added for the college rock and the jazz speakers, because well, they didn't exist before. There was no way to have a community lot speaker playing these 2 genres, so now they've got one added, and there's fairly one for each genre. So I'll put college rock play in it here, and I'll put the happy shopping one in the grocery store, and we'll get Dawn to come and test them out. Before it goes though, it does also replace the home one. I just need to right click to update all the thumbnails for it. So obviously this one isn't tied by genre, it just broadcasts whatever else is playing. So yeah, it's the same default replacement, and you have all those nice wood colours to choose from on the home lot as well. But let's send him to the community lot. So now if we do zoom in here, we've got College Rock playing in the electronics store. She didn't used to be able to have before, and it looked fantastic. But over here we've got happy shopping music. A quick one in neighbourhood view now, you might notice that I use the Linden trees redo, which look amazing. Well, now there is a replacement, let me update the thumbnail, for the Redbud tree in the same style as the Linden trees, which I just think looks fantastic, and it just really goes with the other trees really nicely. So yeah, love those. We're with the Calientes now to look at a couple of what I would class as UI mods. So this is the first one. Mortem has just arrived, as he always does, and now thanks to this visitor notifications mod, every time somebody comes over you get a notification about him, because notice how he didn't come to ring the doorbell, but he is waiting there wanting to be greeted. He's not just a walk by, he wants to be greeted. So now anyone that does that, you'll not have to miss it, because I don't know if anyone else has played Veronaville, but like on the Cat Manor, you cannot see the road from the house. So if anyone comes and does not ring the doorbell, you would have no idea. So this little UI mod makes sure you never miss a visitor. But it won't be annoying if there's a walk by or like a service NPC comes, it won't bombard you about those. For our next mod, I'm going to have Nina find a job. As you can see, she currently wants to get a job in the Slack career. And now, thanks to this new mod called Newspaper and Computer Job Summary, you now get this pop-up as soon as you start looking for a job. They will tell you the careers that are available today. So you can see oceanography, athletic, law enforcement, military, and Slack are available today. So if Slacker hadn't been there, you might be like, well, no, there's nothing right for my sim, I'm not going to bother. Of course, it's still worth looking through because you don't know the levels or any other information like that. But now, you know, it's worth clicking through to get that Slacker career. Otherwise, you might be like, do you know what? I'm just going to quit. Not today. Otherwise, queue up again. You can continue. And that's just saves your time. It saves your sim's time. So you know that it's worth to go through this look again process until you find the one you want, because you know it's going to be there. And there we go, we eventually get to the one we wanted and we knew it was going to be there. So it just gives you an accurate heads up of what's available today. I've just had Nina make some mac and cheese, and now when you hover over it, the tooltip tells you what it is. You can see that it is mac and cheese. So when you put it in the fridge as leftovers, and then get leftovers, you can hover over it there too and see that it's mac and cheese. Sometimes it can be a little bit difficult to tell what's what. I've got confused between mac and cheese and cereal before. Sometimes you might have some new custom food that you're not that familiar with yet, so you can just hover over them in the menu like this or out in the world and you'll know what they are. Same goes for when they serve it, so the individual bowls will say what they are as well, and that applies to all foods, which is so helpful. And for the last mod I'm going to show you in game, we've got some new university related memories by Notking. Now, memories you might think actually is a gameplay mod, and I'd get that because I mean it affects the way the Sims kind of think and talk. So maybe this should have been in the gameplay section, but in a way, like, memories are just something to display in the UI, so I'm going to put them in the UI mod. But here we are. I've moved these students from Sim State University into a dorm, and now when I look at the memories, they have a new one for moving into a dormitory. So that is a fun new memory. I'm going to have Jared here now streak. So off he goes. He just didn't even run around there, he just got changed. Why do you do it? Not right. Maybe you have to be outgoing or something? Why aren't they running around? Do they have to be like really? He is outgoing streak.
Oh, Keloba. Comchagala.
Oh, I actually made this new doormate selectable to see if she could streak. She can't. But I can actually show you now that there is a bad version of this moved into a dormitory, and that is for very shy Sims with 3 or less points in shyness. Moving into a dormitory might actually be a bad thing because obviously there's a lot of people around all the time. So it's not necessarily a positive memory for everyone. But I just can't figure out why they won't actually streak. You should be at class, by the way. I don't know why I can't get a sim to streak, but there is a new memory for that when they do that. Don't know why it's not working. Ty has gone to class, and he now has a new memory of going to the first lecture. So the first time a sim goes to class when they get to university, that'll be a significant memory as well. That will always be positive. I've now got the plastic surgery career reward, and we can change his face. Oh, it looks like it's going good. That's great. So he got plastic surgery, and now he will remember that. Let's see if it goes well for Oh my god, no, he's on bad light. It went bad for her last time, so she must be unlucky. Now there will also be a bad memory for when it goes wrong and you don't get control over the nice way you wanted it to look. So there are a few more. I'm not going to go show you every single one in game. I think I did last time, so do check out the quarterly episode if you want to see them more in more detail. But there's also one for dropping out, and there's also one for joining a secret society. So I'll not do those ones, but yeah, they're pretty self-explanatory. So I just love those extra set of memories there. Next, to whiz through some honourable mentions. So the first one is Catch 'em on the Flippity Flop, which is a set of brand new traits, most of which are like opposites to some that can be found in the Sims 3 pack. So we've got dislikes, cats, dogs, animals. We've got slow learner being opposite to genius. We've got climate denier instead of eco-friendly. We've got homebody, nudist, and some other unique ones. We've got generous, blackthorn, a dreamer, a minimalist, a sweet tooth, and a terrible cut. And these are just have so much potential, but unfortunately that's all they really are at the moment, is potential, because there's not that many mods yet that actually incorporate these, make them functional. I'd like to make some myself eventually, and I'm sure we will see some, but right now there's not a lot of mods going to make these like have an actual gameplay effect, so that's why they're only an honourable mention. But I will definitely be covering any new mods that come out that affect these traits, and they'll definitely be in my game, and I'll be working on making them do some stuff one day eventually. But I really hope other creators beat me to it, so I can't wait to see what else comes out of them. There is Crystal Ball Computer Dating by Gummy, which adds a feature from an old mod that added literally a crystal ball to a menu on the computer, so Sims can like do free online dating, set up a profile, say what kind of thing they're looking for, and then find a date, a bit like the matchmaker but for free, and you can actually select the sim rather than it just being one chosen for you. So yeah, and that's handy for your single Sims looking to date and you're happy to include, you know, townies and NPCs and things. Well, you can filter them out if you want. But yeah, as this video shows, you'll get a menu showing you all of the matches, and you can pick which one. I imagine you can sort by chemistry if you want to just pick a best match for your sim, and bam, they'll arrive ready for a date. Next we have date ending does not wake up, and does what it says on tin. When the Sims have been on a date and they fall asleep at the end of it, the date timer running out does not make them get up out of bed, because that usually makes their energy bar full and then they won't go back to bed, and it might be 4 o'clock in the morning, so that just makes them sleep through the daytime running out. Next we have no/reduced promotion bonus. It's up to you whether you want no bonus or reduced by half. I like the reduced option. So the idea here is that getting demoted and then re-promoted will give you more money than just keep getting promoted. Because of the huge promotion bonuses, the Sims usually come home with 2 times the salary plus their salary, and the reduced by half will just make them come home with 2 times overall, just 1 additional salary, which I think is much more fair, adds a bit of challenge, a bit of realism and balance. Next, again does what it says on the tin. Pet commands can be taught on community lots. Now you can actually go and take your dog to the dog park and teach them the command there, rather than it having to be a residential lot. Picking Mr. Humble gives various criteria that you can choose from for when Mr. Humble arrives, rather than just as soon as you start playing Sim and he hasn't been before. You can choose for more challenging criteria rather than it from being just luck based, so there's a very small chance any day that he might come. It could be once the Sim has reached the top of the gaming career, it could be once they've maxed the gaming hobby, or it could be when they have collected all of the other video games, or a combination. Thanks to me requesting for that, because I think they were all really good ideas. So that just makes his arrival a little bit more rare and, you know, more of a treat rather than an annoyance. There's also no rotating pet balls by Epe, which just stops pet balls turning around when pets eat from them or Sims clean from them, they'll always stay in the orientation you place them, which, I mean, it can be annoying when the square one rotates around, or some custom ones really don't look right when they're being turned around, or can even become inaccessible. So just make sure that they're always exactly how you intended them to be. We've got a community lot pregnancy bump fix, so now when pregnant Sims in their second trimester appear on a community lot or visit other Sims, they will actually appear in their second trimester rather than their third one. We've got beds, bugs and bloopers fix. So I don't know if your game or bed's ever reset and you've seen these crazy textures and flashing blue and your bed's just not looking right and you have to like recolor them to set them. Apparently that fixes that. We have cast makeup lag fix by the one and only Lazy Duchess. So usually when you click on step 4 of create a sim, it can be really slow to go to that step, and there's a bit of your game lags. That alleviates that. We have a switchable switch with animations by Jackie93 Sims, which adds a little light switch onto a wall that your Sims can literally go up and click to turn the lights on and off. Jackie93 Sims also made Ski Ball, which is very similar to the basketball item I showed you. A similar idea, so that would be a fun game to add to arcades or carnivals. Similar to this is a carnival ducks game converted from Animal Crossing, which is great. The ducks actually move up and down and your Sims try and throw the balls at the targets behind them. There's also the ball pit converted from The Sims 4, but this is for toddlers. So they'll use it like this as if they're splashing around. I think it's like they're doing a puddle, but that'll gain their fun. I'd like this to gain their body skill or something, maybe fitness enthusiasm or something like that. And another one by Jackie93 Sims, believe me, there's more that I'm not even going to mention, but it's still worth checking out, is a Tiny Playrooms kitchen set, because this washing machine is a new functional toy for children, so they can use it to gain fun and build the cleaning skill. There's not many good ways for children to gain the cleaning skill, and they often do want to, so rather than just making them be bored helping around the house, they can have this toy to play with, and it is just so cute. There is Maxis Desert Lot Plants as neighbourhood plant default replacements. So now when you place the Joshua Tree, cactus or agave trees in neighbourhood view, their model will be the same as what it would be on a lot, so they look much better and higher quality. There's also a default replacement for the community lot trash can, which looks much higher quality and more modern, but really stays true to the Maxis Sims 2 look, which I really like. There's this dirt default replacement by Sorten, which again is very true to the Maxis dirt terrain paint, so I really like that. And there is a default replacement for the male bills by Two Fingers Whiskey, which again just makes them look so much better, so much more higher quality, and there's different colours for the bills being overdue as well, so you'll still see that warning sign there, but yeah, they look so much better. You can see the little like electricity and water logos, just looks fantastic. There's also this kiosk default replacement by Lord Crumps, which is for the MP3 players we looked at today, as well as Epi's smartphone that we looked at with the camera overhaul, and this Nintendo Switch default replacement by Vegan Cactus that this year I actually made some screen recolors for, so check those out as well. But yeah, they'll all show in this electronic kiosk rather than that very dated blue ugly thing. There's this default replacement for the pizza, which I think is fantastic. It makes the base look much more realistic, high quality, thicker, and makes the toppings look much higher quality, though still true to Maxis. And by the same author, there is a default replacement for the baby bottle that makes it nice and smooth and round rather than this like octagonal type thing. And it optionally makes the green the same colour as the Elixir of Life, which I really like as well. There's a default replacement for the electronic guitar, which makes it look really good, as well as a load of recolors for it. It improves the look of the amp as well, and it comes with a load of really nice recolors and some decorative add-ons for it as well, like there's one to put on the wall and things like that. So yeah, that's definitely worth grabbing. There's some more memories, which are Woohoo and Makeout events, which add memories for when a sim has like milestones, you know, when they get memories for I've got 5 best friends, 20, this adds those for making out and woohooing as well. So you know when your sim has those wants to lifetime ones or those big ones locked into Woohoo with 20 Sims. Now, when you check your Sims memories, rather than having to go back and count each time they have a Woohoo, you see those milestones when they've got 5 and then they've got 10, 3, 5, 10 and 20. For Woohoos, makeouts, and having a Woohoo with 5 NPCs as well, because that's another big one that can occur from Romance Sims 2. The text of these can be a little bit confusing. Like for me, first Woohoos doesn't make sense. It just means like Woohooing with a Sim for the first time. So, and yeah, some of the text is just a little bit confusing, but I still really like the benchmarks nonetheless, and I might tweak the text one day. And lastly, there is no useless town buttons, which gets rid of the buttons that came with pets, free time and apartment life. They didn't do anything before. When you clicked on them, you just got a description of the expansion pack. Very useless. It just gets rid of them. So now the ones that stay are actually ones that do something, like adding a support or changing the seasons or something like that. So this bar at the top of the neighborhood will be cleaner and shorter. So that is everything. That is all of my favourite mods that have been released for The Sims 2 this past year. Please let me know which ones are your favourites, which ones out of these are you going to be adding to your downloads folder that you didn't have before. And if you know of any that I didn't include and you think should have been included, let me know and tell me what your favourite mods have been. I'd love to hear. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe, and stay tuned for the quarterly series that will be continuing throughout 2025. So the next one will be in early April, covering the mods that have been released in January, February and March. And make sure you get caught up on all of last year's episodes if you haven't already. Like I said, there's some great mods in there as well. And remember that you can find all of the links of the mods shown today in a link in the description. They'll take you to a personal website where you'll be able to find all the download links and a description for all the mods. And with that, that is everything for now. So I'll see you in the next one, guys. Come join my Discord, and if you want to support me, there are some links in the description as well. So thank you for watching. Bye, guys.